wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
There truly is nothing sweeter to the Barbadian ear than to hear morning or good morning or how you do, all of those kinds of things. And I wish the very same to you as well. Good morning, Barbados. Welcome to today, Monday, the 20th of January, 2025. It's the day before Barrow Day, and it's a day on which we shall continue to rejoice and be glad in it. Now, coming up today, we'll have our conversations on CARICOM. We want to take a further delve into the man, the champion of CARICOM, and some of the things that he spoke about then and how much of reality it is today. So Ambassador David Comishon will join us in just a moment as we delve into the life and history of Errol Walton Barrow, the Right Excellent. The Democratic Labour Party will join us as well as they talk a little bit about their slate of activities to commemorate the leader of the the founder of the Democratic Labour Party. And as we approach the end of Drug Awareness Month, this month of January, we catch up with the NCSA on how things have been and what else is still to come, and some things that we need to continue day by day to pay close attention to. We'll also take you inside Interior Avenue. Now, on Friday, we just gave you a teaser, a taste of what's possible with that. And so they'll join us this morning to show us how we can take some of those tiny spaces and make it look absolutely luxurious. So we get a real first-hand walkthrough with them as to how we can recreate our spaces to make them comfortable and outstanding. Now, tomorrow, thousands will be heading to Archers Bay for the big regathering. The details on how you can experience that will be shared with you this morning. Don't miss it. Also, it's the 135th anniversary of the Christian Mission Church in Barbados. We'll catch up with them on how they're celebrating that significant milestone. And as you know, I do it every morning to get your brains ticking. I have a question. And you, I suppose, have the answer. So here's today's question. And get ready now to give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Gather the children, gather your thoughts, gather yourself together, because I'll ask you, if you could choose one chore to get done by the snap of a finger, I mean by the snap of your finger, what would that chore be? If you could choose one chore that drives the living daylights out of you, that if you could just snap your finger, you get it done, what would that chore be? Mine is ironing. If I could just snap, the iron does what it has to do and it gets done. I know you could tell me, Pearson, there's the laundry. I hear you, but I like to do my own. So if I could just get that done with the snap of a finger, I'll get it done. But what about you? What would that one chore be that if you could just snap your finger, you'll get it done and you will sleep well? What would that be? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy if it's washing up dishes. You know, I'll snap my finger for that too. If it is probably washing clothing, I will snap my finger for that as well. There's a washing machine to do that for us. But what would that one chore be? 228-5562 or 228-5563. You know, no one sweeps the yard anymore. I have not seen anyone do that old-time Bajan thing of getting outside with a yard broom to sweep. So if that was it for you, would you snap your finger to make it all go away or to make it happen? 228-5562 or 228-5563. For those of you watching online as well, you can engage with us on our social media platforms. We will share with you as the morning unfolds some of your responses. 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you could choose one chore that you could get rid of at the snap of a finger, what would that be? And my producer is telling me in my ear, she hates folding laundry. She hates putting away laundry. I kind of like you know, that's why you always have a spare room and you drop it on the bed. I am sorry. Maybe I'm telling you a little bit too much, but that's what you do. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. Get on your social media platforms and you can tell us your responses there as well, all right? I will wait to hear from you. Now, let's get our conversations on CARICOM going as we're joined here by Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commichon. Ambassador Commichon, good morning.
Morning, Pearson.
Happy Alvaro Day in advance to you, by the way.
Yes.
Today we're looking at the champion of CARICOM and the things that he's done. But before we get into that conversation, we got the news yesterday from the United States of America about Marcus Garvey. Now, what does that mean to you, the pardoning of Marcus Garvey?
Well, I'm in two minds about it. I mean, the family wanted him pardoned. There was a campaign. CARICOM heads of government weighed in. Our own Prime Minister wrote personally and confidentially to President Biden, urging that not that he be pardoned, but that he be exonerated, because that was our feeling, that the conviction was fraudulent, was unjust, and pardon suggests that you have done something wrong, and you're being pardoned for that wrong. Whereas exoneration says you had never done anything wrong in the first place. You should not even have been charged. So I would much prefer an exoneration. But the family felt very strongly that this presidential pardon, was a step in the right direction in terms of clearing that kind of cloud over Marcus Garvey's name. So we all celebrated. But honestly, Pearson, for me, an unjust conviction where one is persecuted for a righteous cause, to me, that in a sense is a badge of honor. So I have never seen that unjust conviction as something to be shameful about. I have always seen it. Marcus Garvey was such a formidable foe of white supremacy, that racism, that they went to great lengths to try to derail him. It's a badge of honor.
It's a badge of honor. The year was 1987. June the 1st. Where were you?
Well, I remember that night when we got the news. We all headed to DLP headquarters in George Street, and I remember the solemnity of that night as we were reflecting on the untimely passing of Mr. Barrow. I had the good fortune to know him personally. He did me the honor of inviting me to serve his administration in the Senate. In fact, at that time, I was the youngest senator in Barbados's history. So it was a real blow for me personally that Mr. Barrow had left us after just about 1 year in office as Prime Minister.
It took everyone by surprise. And so at that time in 1987, I recall we invited yourself as well as the man who later became Prime Minister of Barbados, David Thompson. And so I want to play a little bit of that, and then we'll come back and talk right after.
He always reiterated that cry, although not in the same words, that Bob Marley, another distinguished Caribbean hero, had said in his redemption song, "Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, for none but ourselves can free our minds."
Develop our integrity, our identity as a Caribbean people, and develop totally as a region. I think that, to my mind, that is one of the greatest of Errol Barrow's legacies.
And so when you look at the legacy today, Ambassador, have we fulfilled the legacy as you saw it then?
Well, the first thing is, Pearson.
The hair.
No, not the hair. It is so striking because the question that would have been posed to me at that time is, if you had to focus on some aspect of Mr. Barrow that you think is, maybe very important or the most important. And back then, I zeroed in on Mr. Barrow, the Caribbean integrationist, the CARICOM man.
Yes.
And here it is, how many years later, 30-something years later, as ambassador to CARICOM, I am now on his 105th anniversary of his birth, focusing once again on the fact that he was the champion, perhaps the champion par excellence of Caribbean integration and of the Caribbean community. There are many aspects to Mr. Barrow's legacy, but surely, surely, right there at the top of the list is his achievements in the field of Caribbean integration.
Well, let's talk about that for just a little bit then. Could you list a few, not necessarily in descending or ascending order, a list of the few of the things that you thought that on that stage he spoke about to enhance or to develop CARICOM?
Well, you know, first of all, I mean, he was actually if you wanted to single out an architect of CARICOM, you would say Mr. Barrow. I mean, and even prior to CARICOM, you know, he came to office in 1961 on the verge of the total collapse of the West Indies Federation. Jamaica had just had its referendum. Jamaica had just pulled out of the Federation when Mr. Barrow, 2 months later, won the government. And to his credit, his first instinct was to try to save what was left of the Federation. He won office. He immediately traveled to Trinidad to meet with Eric Williams to say, look, let Barbados and Jamaica has pulled out, but let us come together and save the Federation. Eric Williams did not cooperate. Eric Williams, in fact, said 1 from 10 leaves not.
Yes.
And Trinidad pulled out. And then, to Mr. Barrow's credit, heroically, he said, okay, Trinidad and Jamaica have gone. Barbados will lead the way. We will try to keep the others together. We'll create a federation of the little 8. And then Grenada pulled out. He said, we will try to create a federation of the little 7. And then St. Lucia pulled out. And we will go on. Eventually, Antigua and Montserrat, and eventually the whole thing collapsed. So that effort collapsed, and it was out of that collapse that Mr. Barrow had this brainwave. You know, we have failed with the political union. Let us pursue the unity gradually through economic integration. And hence he came up with the idea of the Caribbean Free Trade Area. CARIFTA, the Caribbean Free Trade Association. He brought together Forbes Burnham of Guyana. Antigua subsequently joined, and by 1968, CARIFTA was on its way. But he always understood that the free trade area was to evolve into a custom union and a common market. That is, was to evolve into CARICOM. And so so said, so done. By 1973, he was there at Chaguaramas, signing the Treaty of Chaguaramas to set CARICOM on its way in 1973. And as part of that setting CARICOM on its way, he engineered another very significant thing. He and Michael Manley and Forbes Burnham and Eric Williams, who were then the 4 prime ministers of the independent countries, decided, look, we must have a collective foreign policy. And the first thing we will do in that collective foreign policy is to recognize the Caribbean nation of Cuba, the nation that the United States and the Organization of American States had isolated. And so, in a very brave move for these 4 small Caribbean countries to stand up to the mighty USA and the OAS and say, no, we are not following your prescriptions. We are independent. We see no reason to isolate Cuba. We will recognize Cuba. And that broke the ice, because once that was done, all the other countries of our hemisphere fell in line, and they too recognized Cuba. So, those are monumental achievements of Mr. Barrow, setting first CARIFTA and then CARICOM on its way. And
that goes beautifully as well with his final speech, what we call the mirror image speech.
Yes, yeah. Well, yes, in Barbados, his major final domestic speech in that 1986 election campaign that I was a part of. Yes, a brilliant speech telling us to look within, look at ourselves, you know. When we look in the mirror, what do we see? Are we happy with what we see? So he was asking us to take a deep and profound look into our own society and where we wanted to go as a nation and a people. And all these years later, that speech, in fact, I would say the mirror image, the idea of the mirror image has become part of the folklore and
Yes.
folk heritage of Barbados.
When you look at the strategy of our Barrow then, and you look at where we are and the strategies now, how do they compare, in your opinion?
Well, you know, it's interesting you ask that, because I brought along here, this is a booklet that I produced in my role as Ambassador to CARICOM back in 2020 to celebrate Mr. Barrow's centenary. And this booklet it features two of his speeches. One, the speech he made when he actually signed the Treaty of Chaguaramas. But secondly, the final speech he made to a CARICOM Heads of Government conference in Guyana in 1986, after he had, won the election and become Prime Minister of Barbados. And that speech is so futuristic, because when he makes several points. For example, in that speech, he sent a message to all CARICOM countries. We have to go after food security. What is the big flagship project of CARICOM in 2025?
25 by 25.
It is a 25 by 25. So Mr. Barrow saw that so clearly 30-something years ago. Secondly, he said in this speech, the Caribbean must be a zone of peace, and that has proven to be, that idea of our region being a zone of peace has proven to be so helpful to us, because I can tell you, at several times since I've been CARICOM ambassador, we have had challenges to peace in the region, centered around Venezuela, the United States, people wanting to intervene in our region. And we have always been able to go back to that doctrine. That has guided us. Listen, no intervention, peaceful settlement of disputes, because our region is a zone of peace, and we have even taken that to the United Nations. But another critical point he made in this speech that I think we still need to explore. Well, he made the point that, look, our Caribbean integration has to be about more than just trade and economic matters. We go way beyond that. We are one people. We share a common history, a common heritage. But he also went on to say that over the centuries, we have developed a common stock of collective wisdom, our people, that help them to be able to survive and to transcend all of the oppression. And it is that common stock of wisdom that we must tap into. Our government structures, our governance structures must tap into that collective stock of wisdom that resides among the masses of our people. And he said to the university, yes, university, you have created a lot of technical knowledge, but you haven't linked that technical knowledge to the broad masses of our people. And you need to do that. And so the intellectual class needs to bind with the masses of the people, and then the governance structures need to tap into all of that collective wisdom and insight and understanding. And I think that is such a powerful idea, such a powerful vision for us. And I think it still largely remains unrealized. It is still work to be done, to really create the Caribbean civilization that he always envisaged and saw himself as a citizen of.
And that we don't have to wait for someone else to do it for us. We can do this ourselves. We have that same collective wisdom, that same collective spirit to be able, as the people of the region, to pull ourselves together, to pull ourselves out of. And so that continues still to be one of the resounding messages of our leaders today. What a man. And I would have loved to have known what would he say today had he been alive at 105, Errol Walton Barrow.
The final message he left in that last speech to CARICOM, virtually his final words were, he plucked out a quotation from Jose Marti, Cuba's national hero, and it said, A true man does not seek the path where advantage lies, but rather the path where duty lies. And that is the only practical man whose dream of today will be the law of tomorrow, because he knows that without a single exception, the future lies on the side of duty. And I think, I think that that is an eternal message that he was sending to all of us in the Caribbean. The path of duty, the importance of assuming all of us, all of us assuming our duty to make our Caribbean what it ought to be, an authentic Caribbean civilization.
Time for reprint, Ambassador. The book is called The Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow, Champion of the Caribbean Community, written and produced by His Excellency David Commichon. And so hopefully we'll get that reprint. I know they're all sold out by now.
Well, I printed 1,000 copies in 2020 and gave them away. So they're floating all around, all over Barbados. But yes, this is the final copy that I have left. So time for a reprint in 2025.
Thank you so much as always. And again, bringing such sage wisdom to our understanding of things in CARICOM and on today about Errol Walton Barrow, Right Excellent National Hero of Barbados, and understanding the mind of the man to be able to understand the path we now trod. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
My pleasure, Pearson.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Ambassador David Commichon, Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM. As we continue our look at the man, the champion of CARICOM, we'll do even more right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7 The
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 24 minutes after 6 o'clock now as we continue on this day before Errol Barrow Day to continue to look at the man and the mission, the purpose, and the party which he founded as well, and to find out how they too intend to mark that signal occasion. 105 years old he would have been tomorrow, Errol Walton Barrow. We're joined on set this morning by Senator Andrew Worrell, who is the president of the Democratic Labour Party, and with him is Ramon Goodman, who is Membership Development Officer of the Young Democrats. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning, Pearson, and thanks for having us.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Senator Worrell, let's talk a little bit, first of all, about the man, Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow, because you live in St. John.
That's right.
A parish that he would have represented significantly. Talk to me a little bit about what you remember and his work in the constituency.
Well, from what I know, a number of persons that Barrow was the ultimate parliamentarian, ultimate MP, and he honestly is revered within St. John. A number of persons, obviously from the older generation, speak very fondly of Barrow and what he would have done for not only St. John but Barbados, because remember that he was the Prime Minister of Barbados when he became the MP for St. John. And at that time, there was a need for critical and fast development of the country, moving away from the predominantly agricultural base, developing the tourism sector, expanding education, which many people obviously give him accolades for, in terms of making free secondary education available to a number of persons. And for that, he has earned a spot in the hearts of many Barbadians, especially persons from St. John. You also see it in the development of the country now, because as a result of that, a number of civil servants, persons got an opportunity to work within the civil service, teachers, and even at other levels. And you can see it in the development of the communities as well. Obviously, sporting as well was very important for him. We would have had a lot more cricket grounds, and every community at that time would have had a cricket team. We have a little bit less of that now, but those are the things which were important for him. Also, his culinary skills, his warm personality, his hospitality, seemed as though he was the sort of person that just entered your house, have a conversation with you, and, you know, you felt as though you knew him for a long time and you were long-time friends. That is the stories that obviously I would have been told, because Barrow died in 86. I am of the
age.
Yes.
Don't age yourself.
Exactly.
You know, I was going to say to the folks, you know, how old I was when he died. But to do that, I would give too much away. Yes, I'm a senior citizen now.
Right.
But so there's a lot about him that, unfortunately, some people may be wanting to forget. And I'm afraid of that, because, Ramon, this is where you come in now to play, because as a leader of the Young Democrat and developing the Young Democrats, how are you imbuing in all of those minds the memory of the man?
Well, I would have mostly read about Mr. Barrow. Obviously, I wasn't around when he was championing the cause for independence. And I think he went against the grain. He went against what the social norms were. And he went ahead and championed the cause for independence. Right?
You know, in preparing for today, I sat and I watched some videos of his speeches and performances, I will say. Do you get a chance to do that with the Young Democrats so that they hear from the man himself about his ideas and his visions?
That's a process. I think there's actually a lot of programs that are actually ongoing, and going down the road, we will be getting into a lot of that, so we can get some more inspiration, etc.
Senator Worrell, he was so visionary, and so we're in 2025, and there are lots of things that he spoke about then that are still very relevant to today. How do you see the party being able to tackle still in 2025 those things that he felt were absolutely important?
Well, you have to see Barrow's legacy is creating the foundations and the pillars on which Barbados are built. Is education, which helped to develop a middle class within Barbados, expanding sectors, manufacturing, tourism, service sectors in Barbados, all that capable because of education. And now, in terms of the further enhancement and development, it's his ideal goal for Barbadians. You allow persons to be educated. That is a form of independence as well, in terms of career choices and not to depend on certain things. So we need to have that self-actualization, which some of us have had over the years, but we need to take it a step further and make sure that the younger generations have that same level of self-actualizations as well. Because recognizing that a number of our middle class and upper middle class communities, you'll call areas like Wanstead and West Terrace, all of those areas, when you look through them, and the tenantries in St. John as well, and you look at the housing that the people live in, that is a part of Barrow's legacy, because if they didn't have the education and the job opportunities, it would not have happened. Now we have to go beyond that and make sure that regardless of what happens in the world, Barbados can sustain itself. Agriculture must still be a part of it, diversifying the service sectors which young people can engage in. Remember, he always said to punch above our weight on the national stage, which is what he did. So to inculcate that mindset that even though you are a Barbadian from a small island territory, that you are still capable of going out there in terms of the world, a lot of people compare Barbados to Singapore. We still need to get to that stage in our development, even though we are small, that we can earn just as much and recognize that the world is our playground, and we don't just have to depend on this 166 square miles, 275,000 persons to earn a living, but we can use the technology, the education, which is available to us to do more, and that is what we need to champion, that young people will recognize the value of education and how it can help them to be independent and earn a good living and contribute to the country as well.
And I've asked you these questions because I wanted to set the base for what and how the party is celebrating and remembering the man. So there are a number of activities which have been on and will be on for the rest of the week as we celebrate Arrow Barrow Week. So talk to me a little bit about what the DLP, the Democratic Labour Party, is doing to remember the man.
Okay. Well, we normally have our Barrow Memorial Church service. We did that yesterday at Messiah's house, Messiah Street, St. John, and we took it to St. John because, as you said, Barrow was the member of Parliament for St. John for a number of years. So that is where we wanted to rekindle that spirit. And I must say that we really had a blessed church service, and it was a wonderful gathering, and I was pleased to see the number of party supporters who turned out in support and the congregation as well. So it felt like a family event. Yes. This evening we will be having the Arrow Barrow Memorial Lecture at the Walcott and Warner Theatre at the Arrow Barrow Center for Creative Imagination at the University of the West Indies. And it's open to the public. The lecture starts at 7 p.m. and will be delivered by Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Ralph Thorne. He will deliver the lecture this evening, and his topic is the vision, the mission from, the vision and the mission. And that continues in the legacy, because obviously, as you would have asked before, there's still a lot to do in terms of developing on the platform which Barrow developed, and the party continues in that tradition and the legacy. Tomorrow, which Ramon could speak about, this his champion event would be a cricket match, North Stars Cricket Ground in St. Lucie, again another area which is known to Barrow because he was born in St. Lucie. So the North Stars Cricket Ground, they invited us to have a cricket match there, and Ramon is more so championing that initiative. But before that, we will have a special surprise for Barbadians at 10 o'clock in the morning on Arrow Barrow Day in fitting political respect to Arrow Barrow.
I'll come back to that in a minute. Ramon, he threw it to you because you're the young man here on the set, right? So the cricket match. Talk to me about that, this big cricket match.
Yes, T20 cricket. You cannot miss this cricket. We had a very good session at Weymouth Ground a couple of weeks, I believe about a month ago.
Right, for Walter Blackman.
Yes, that is correct, yes. So it was the Ralph Thorne 11 versus some celebrities. Unfortunately, we weren't champions that particular time, but we are out for revenge this time, you know. But all in all, it is going to be lots of fun. Also, we have Rack Shack Bar and Grill that is usually stationed in Orange Hill, but that is mobilizing to North Stars Ground to serve food and drinks.
That's tomorrow.
That is correct.
What time is the match?
The match is actually at 2 p.m., but we ask everyone to get there at 1 p.m.
And of course, naturally the Shack Bar will be there, so there's food and drink on sale.
That is correct.
And so tomorrow at 2 is the T20.
That is
and
correct.
It's which team versus which team?
Okay, the Ralph Thorne 11 versus the Arrow Barrow 11.
I really get a chance to pick anybody. But nonetheless, it's going to be quite a match tomorrow at North Stars Ground at 2 o'clock. And it's a T20, so it's going to be over in 2-2s. It's a relatively short game, but packed with excitement and lots of swiping.
Of course.
so to speak.
4s, 6s, cover drives, on drives, all types of shots you're going to see.
Right. Well, you're going to my parish, so you know right away I'm telling everybody to come down. Come on over, indeed, and enjoy all of that. So that cricket match is tomorrow. But since you hinted at something at 10 o'clock Tuesday morning.
Yes, we will be having a press conference tomorrow morning at DLP headquarters, 10 o'clock. And it is something that Barbadians have been asking for quite a while. So you will hear some names revealed at that press conference. That is all that I will say now. I want to keep you stimulated. I want to keep you interested, and inviting all the party members and supporters there, welcome to join us at the press conference, DLP headquarters, for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then we leave the press conference around 12, DLP headquarters around 12, and we journey together to North Stars.
North Stars, that's where the action is going to be tomorrow afternoon. And these are all just part of the activities, but I'm sure that there are other fringe activities that you're going to be having, because I'll come back to you, Ramon, because I'm just trying to figure out what are you doing to mobilize the young Democrats so that they are an equally active part of the organization.
Yes, well, I'm involved in recruitment, right? So, as I said, it's a process. I go out there and I obviously look for talent, as they would say, talent. And obviously there's some training involved, some education about the party. And as I said, you know, it's a process. So it's a role that I recently was elected for. So I am ready and raring to go.
All right, so I don't want to get ahead of the press conference tomorrow, which is a big part, big event tomorrow at 10 at party headquarters. But tonight,
the lecture.
Just remind us.
Yes, the lecture at the Walcott and Warner Theatre, which is on the opposite side of the main campus of the University of the West Indies, starts at 7. We'd like you to be seated at least by 6:45, and the lecture will be delivered by the political leader, the Honorable Ralph Thorne. So all of Barbados are invited, and then we'll have a cocktail reception after the lecture. And we continue activities on Friday. We'll have our traditional lunchtime lecture, which will be delivered by Bobby Morris, who was a former ambassador and someone who would have served in Parliament with the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow as well. And then the other activities are more internal, joint meetings of the councils on Thursday nights, and then we go into a retreat towards the end of this month.
Significant ways indeed to mark the contribution of the man, his vision, his mission, and a whole lot more. So tonight is going to be the lecture and awards and reception at the Errol Barrow Center for Creative Imagination. The match is tomorrow afternoon at 2. There's a press conference at 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, and the match at 2. And then a whole host of other activities internal as well. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning, for sharing. I really hope that many people do come out and engage with Senator Andre Worrell, the president of the Democratic Labour Party, and Ramon Goodman, a membership development officer of the Young Democrats as well. So all the best, gentlemen, as we continue to remember the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow, the man who formed the Democratic Labour Party.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you very much for having us.
You're welcome indeed. Morning Barbados continues right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game with Domino's and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
19 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. So we turn our attention to the ongoing activities for Drug Awareness Month and the work of the National Council on Substance Abuse. Actually, joining me this morning is Substance Abuse Prevention Officer Paulette Atkinson. We go back decades.
Yes,
Sounds very old, right?
I know. Good morning and morning, Barbados.
And with her is Alison Gotip, who is the Director of Clinical Services with Verdon House. Alison, good morning to you indeed.
Good morning to you and Barbados.
Paulette, let's talk a little bit about the work of NCSA. I know what the theme is.
Yeah.
So how has it been so far?
Oh, it's been exciting. From the beginning of January, we were basically growing. Our colleagues, they held online training activities for the substance abuse badge. So this is an educational forum where students can go online, different uniform groups. In this case, it was Pathfinders and Brownies, Cub Scouts. And they learn about drugs and they get to interact online with some very exciting platforms that we have online. So that was the first week. And then the second week, after the whole Christmas time, we were back again and we hit the ground running, literally.
Yes.
We were in the community with our community drive-through through the parishes of St. Peter and St. Lucie, together with partners, because this month is all about strengthening those partnerships and continuing to expand on what we're doing. So we were with the Parish Independence the ambassadors, the Parish Independence committees, the Peace Program, students from the schools in the north. It was awesome, and our friends from Verdon, we went into the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you're more than words. You actually do.
Oh, yes.
And you do a lot. And sometimes you're not seen, and that's okay. But it's how effective it is. So how would you rate your success of your work so far?
Well, of course, substance abuse is an ongoing phenomenon. And therefore, I would say, we are continuing to still punch above our weight, but we have a lot of work to do. And certainly with our upcoming early warning system workshop, this is an opportunity for us to engage with first responders and other key stakeholders in law enforcement and within demand reduction. It's all about ensuring that people stay abreast of what is happening and that we're a step ahead. So I would say that, I would give us a 7. I'm being idealistic, yes, but we do have a lot to do and we can't do it alone, and that's why the partnerships are so critical, like working with Verdon.
Indeed. And so, Alison, how has it been working with the NCSA and what are you seeing through this partnership?
It's been really good. We have collaborated over the years, but it was really this year that we decided to come together and because I find that sometimes we can be quite territorial with our organizations, and it's really important to connect together, because whilst we are in the business of doing treatment, we cannot do treatment alone without looking at prevention. So we've always been championing National Council on Substance Abuse. It's been a phenomenal time. We would have had our launch at the Church of God. We're coming up now to doing our Calypso and Jazz concert, which is on this Saturday with, I'm sure, yes.
Do you know she can sing?
Well, she can back up Simon Pipe. Yeah. She can back up Simon Pipe, who is one of our musical artists. And we also have Open Day, because what we've really done is not to take away anything from the National Council on Substance Abuse, but to enhance the programs that they're doing. So we've got open days this Thursday and also next week with the secondary schools. So we're really championing together because we have to understand that it's key to be the champions of the Caribbean. Errol, Water and Barrow, we need to take up that mantle, and together we can strengthen prevention.
You mentioned Simon Piper. We ran a documentary here.
Right.
We ran a number of programs
Yes.
thereafter because your work has helped him. And
Yes.
he's a living example of
Correct.
the work of Verdon House.
Exactly.
And so the parent watching today who is pulling their hair out because the little loved one is causing them great consternation, what do you say to them about what you can do at
Right.
Verdon House?
As I said, Simon Pipe is a really good ambassador for what we do at Verdon and Marina. And going back to what you were saying, not just talking, but action, so they can see living proof. For that parent, I'm a parent of 4 children and I know what it's like pulling out your hair. It's really important that they need to know that there's support there. It's okay to not be okay, and know that there are people who are going to be able to enhance the progression of your child. So they can call us on 243-0038, which is our hotline, 24 hours. Give us a call. You don't have to wait till your child's used in any substances. It can just be emotional and mental challenges. Or you realise your child's maybe not adjusting going into secondary school. We can help. We've got a myriad of persons in our Teen Intervene programme there at Verdon and Marina House.
And so, Paul, it just shows, one, because as the prevention officer, spotting the signs.
Yes.
Because, and what are some of the signs more prevalent that you see that I may not necessarily recognize?
Well, certainly the mood swings, the behavior change. Because
you figure
that's...
Lash would sort that out, right? I know we don't talk about that, but you know what I mean.
No, but it's important for parents and caregivers to have those relationships and to build meaningful relationships. Understand the people who you live with, your loved ones, your circle, your family, your support network, and be aware of what is happening, on a regular basis. And it's usually the behaviors that are the telltale signs. For students, parents, you really need to ensure that, especially now with all the new psychoactive substances and so, that you really become aware of what's happening, the exposure to some of these new chemicals. They're very dangerous.
Correct.
Some of them should not even be, persons should not be exposed to them. And this is what we're going to be doing with our early warning system workshop this week. We're going to be working with those first responders in the health arena, in the polyclinics, in the law enforcement arena, in the workplace, to ensure that they understand how important it is for them to be on board and to have systems that make sense. They're easy, simple things that we all can do to continue to promote health and wellness in the family, in the home, in the schools, in the community. So know that, NCSA is here. We actually also have coming up a revised volunteer training activity. So to know more, we want you to really call us, 535-NCSA. Log on to Facebook and Instagram, NCSA Barbados, to find out more, because we're inviting the public to come on board. Become a volunteer. Share your skill set, because you may be thinking, well, I don't know how I can help. But you have wisdom, you have experience, you have skills, and all of this lends to helping that next parent and that child stay healthy and be capable of handling situations, making informed decisions.
And sometimes, Alison, they just need a listening ear.
Correct.
Someone just to hear. And sometimes we listen to respond, and that's not the way to respond in this situation. Just listen. They'll pour out to you a lot of their challenges, and then you can identify the solutions. But Paul, what about church groups and other small organizations because people are people.
Yes.
And all of those who are substance abusers don't necessarily, I'm going to join that group. They're everywhere.
Correct.
In the workplace, in the schools, in the churches, in your little football clubs.
Oh, yes.
How are you approaching that? What's your approach to that?
Well, we have an integrated approach to prevention. It's not ever been this chalk and talk kind of approach. We're involved, we're in sports, we're in the workplace, we are in the church. I mean, we were at church last week, Sunday. Verdon joined us, we joined them yesterday. So it's important for everyone to understand that you have a part to play in the prevention effort. As we always say, prevention is better than cure. So we're not going away from our old time traditions and our cultural values. What we're saying is that we need them more than ever. And know that you can make a difference. You may be that neighbor who spots a child who's not going to school, who may be going into a house. And you might be thinking, well, am I being nosy? No. The thing is that you care, you observe, and you care, and therefore you can say something or you can do something. Recognize that all of us have a part to play.
And so Verdun and Marina houses, Alison, going out to engage with other groups in the community. Is that also what you do?
Yes, definitely. As Paul Yvette would have spoken, we've got a strong research team, and we realise that we need to intervene very early on and be within the community. Hence why we are having the open days on Thursday and next week for the secondary schools. We also go into schools. You would have met Nicolette Williams, our youth and adolescent specialist. So we always go into schools as well, because I said I'm probably one of the few persons who say, I don't mind being out of a job, because we don't want to see them at 20 years old coming into Verdun and Marina. When you look back in their life and you can see, if we had intervened earlier, if we had more of a social and community responsibility, because there is this stigma that, well, I don't want to get involved in people's business, but we all have a responsibility. There's no point us wringing our hands and saying, look what's happening in Barbados or the Caribbean. We need to say, instead, change that narrative and say, what can I do to improve my country, my nation? I have an individual responsibility.
And that responsibility rests with all of us, really and truly. As you said, Paula, it's a community.
Correct.
The community that cares for its people.
Yes.
And so if you see something, don't use that catchphrase, if you see something, say something.
I also wanted to add, Pearson, this coming Saturday, we'll be doing another food drive, because caring is also those other ththings that are unseen.
Yes.
And we will be having a food drive, partnering again with Massey at their 3 branches at Worthing, Sunset Crest, and Warrens. And the public is invited. Come on out. We have a new setup because we're all green. So you can bring your phones, scan the QR code, get a shopping list, and donate an item, because all of these items go into hampers, which are distributed over the months to assist families in need. So the families that come into our counseling programs, the families that come in and they need that extra tin of something, that juice box, something that is non-perishable that can also add value to the person and their dignity and help them to continue to thrive. So know that this is another opportunity for the public to really give back.
This Saturday at the 3 major Massey outlets, Worthing, Warrens, and Whole Town, is where you're going to be doing your shopping. This is where you're going to be doing your shopping.
Definitely.
And as you do so, drop a little something in, and you're collecting the items.
We
on
are
location?
collecting, yes.
Okay.
We'll have our teams there with our shirts, so you can't miss us. We'll be there from 9 until 3:30, and we're appealing to the public, come give, engage with us. And there you can also find out what else you can do to share and be part of strengthening the prevention efforts.
Because often, Alison, there's a hunger need, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so if you see that happening, question it. Where did this appetite suddenly come from? It could well be that they have this abuse of substances. It could well be, it could be other things, but it could well be that.
Of course.
So don't see it and dismiss it.
Exactly, and it's that practical where we're meeting them where they're at and normalising asking for help and being observant. We've always partnered with National Council on Substance Abuse, and it's really key to do practical events, etc., to make sure, because that's why we're doing the Calypso and Jazz. People are like, oh, Frank Collymore Hall, very prestigious, and you're going to have Simon Pipe. But all that is saying to the general public, just donate $10, $20, $50. It doesn't matter, because you are being part of that change. You're being part, you're actually helping persons. We have persons coming who literally have nothing. And in this day and age where we say, Barbados is obviously a very fertile ground, how can anyone be in a situation like that? And you can't tell someone, well, you know what, stop using substances, but they haven't got food, they haven't got shelter, etc.
The event at Frank Collymore Hall is when?
Is on Saturday at 6:30. Simon Pipe's actually going to be for the general public now, playing just for today his new album launch. And so we have other artists coming, so feel free to come, even if you can't come and just want to donate. So that's one of our fundraising events, and obviously National Council on Substance Abuse are going to be there as well.
Paula Bett will be there. She'll be on stage performing as well. And the workshop, you said, is on this week too, Paula?
Yes, that's this Wednesday. We have a select number of stakeholders, and we will be also hearing more about the research that's ongoing. And the early warning system is important because this gives us new information in quick time that we can respond to and further investigate. So again, it's part of the solution, it's part of working together to strengthen prevention.
And Saturday, we go shop in those three big massive outlets, Worthing, Warren, and Warren and Hotel.
Yes.
I have to see it. You know, when you do, remember to put something in the big bin there to help those who desperately need your help as well. And we thank you in advance for your contributions, indeed. Thank you, Paulette Atkinson. Good to see you again. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. And Alison Goethe, with the head of clinical services with Verdun and Marina Houses. Thank you. Good to see you as well. Continue the great work both of you, the organizations are doing. We are behind you, with you, beside you, working alongside you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're taking a break. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fun.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Minute and a half to go to 7 o'clock. Listen, I asked you a question at the top of the show. I asked you then, and I want to hear from you now if you possibly can. Tell me that one chore that if you could just snap your finger and it goes away just to bring joy to your existence, what would that one chore be? I did ask the ladies with whom I spoke just a moment ago. Ironing was one, car washing was another. I love it. And so what is your chore that you'd love to get rid of by the snap of a finger? 228-5562 or 228-5563. You can also comment on our social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. What is that one chore that a snap of a finger could get rid of? And I mean get rid of, that you shall not have to do again for the rest of your life. What would that chore be? 228-5562 or 228-5563. You can also comment on our Facebook page, Mornin Barbados, and then you can also send us an email, morninbarbados@cbc.bb. You can just comment and let me know about that chore that should you just snap your finger, it disappears and you shall have to do it no more. Call me and let me know. 228-5562 or 63. Good morning. Hello. All right. You put down on me? I would never do that to you. Call me, 228-5562 or 228-5563. So, I did tell you that for me, it would be ironing. And I do it, but I hate it. Washing up dishes. Serious. Boom, disappear. Folding clothes is for one person as well. So what would that chore be? Don't like them. Don't like them. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
All right, good man. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
I'm Kevin. I'm from St. George.
Okay, my friend. Tell me, what's that one chore that should you just snap your finger, it disappears, and you'll be happy?
Mosquito.
Mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Oh, that one pest for you. All right. Fair enough. I just hope that you could, and that can go as well. Thank you very much. Have a good day, man. Well, Zanaya, if I said that name right, Zanaya? I can't say it too well. Cleaning the entire house. Cleaning the entire house. You wish you could just snap and have a clean house? Move house. See if that works for you. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. I'm calling from St. Joseph.
You're calling from St. Joseph. What's the first name?
Pat.
Hi, Pat. What's that chore?
That chore is cleaning glass windows.
Cleaning glass windows? People still do that?
Yes, we still do.
Okay. Cleaning your glass windows. So how many windows do you have?
I got about 6, 7, and 4 doors.
6
French
or 7 and 4 doors. And all of those doors have glass?
Yes.
And you can't stand it, right?
It is tearing.
Pat, thanks, sir. Have a good morning.
Okay, you too.
All right, good. Patricia Ben says that one chore would be to get rid of the ironing. Okay, me too. Me too, Pat Ben. I would love to get rid of that. But it's a necessary skill. And so washing the dishes, my technical director is saying to me, is that yours? Think about it and let us know. Shall we continue? All right, time for us to take a look at the news. But let's take this call quickly. Good morning. Hello.
Peace be unto you and yours.
Likewise, Gail, what's your chore that you love to snap your finger and get rid of?
Happy belated birthday. The same lady said glass, cleaning the glass windows. I would do the same thing, but I try to make it as easy as possible. But other than the rest, I enjoy doing. I love cleaning.
You love cleaning, but you would want to get rid of having to do the glass windows.
Right, yes.
All of y'all look. Thank you here. Have a good morning, Gail. Thank you so much. Shall I go to the news? Doing laundry at the laundromat. That's what you would do, Marcia? You don't like to do that? Oh, dear, oh, dear. We're coming back after this. Get your responses ready for me in just a little while. Coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time for the news now. Saturated policing, that's the immediate and forceful response to a series of shootings in the Pine, where 3 people were left nursing gunshot wounds. Attorney General Dale Marshall says Barbados will not be held under siege under any circumstance. He says these types of incidents threaten residents' ability to live peacefully in their homes and be outdoors at night.
In other words, there'll be an increased police presence on the streets in that community, both mobile and on foot. This is, of course, in addition to the investigative strategies and resources that are usually employed. This response will certainly place increased pressure on our manpower resources, but this is a necessary step at this stage. There are, of course, other matters that are being pursued, but those are operational matters that are left to the police leadership.
Mr. Marshall is also urging the residents to work along with the police as they strive to make the area one that's safe.
For my part, I have to ask the residents of the Pine to match the police efforts at making them safe by coming forward with whatever information you may have, no matter how insignificant you may feel it to be. Early information allows the police service to be more effective in their efforts and can even help them to prevent these kinds of occurrences. This is not an idle statement. On numerous occasions, the police service has been able to take steps to neutralize threats to our communities completely unknown to residents. Help them to help you. From the government side, we are continuing to strengthen the hand of law enforcement in a variety of ways, technical, financial, and legislative. We're also working collaboratively with our CARICOM sister governments to address the crime issues that we are all seeing on the rise across the region. The work continues every day at keeping the criminal element in check. And I can never speak about the crime situation without praising the men and women of the police service who put their lives and well-being at risk constantly to keep us all safe.
The Digital Innovation and Health Tech Hub under construction at Newton Christchurch is earmarked to be the home of the Reclaiming Our Atlantic Destiny or ROAD project. And government will be working to ensure the collection of historical documents is not at risk. Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology, Marsha Cadell, says through the ROAD project, the transatlantic records will be digitized.
We saw what happened recently with the archives that regrettably some were lost in fire. We want to make sure that we are never in the position of losing those records again or at risk of losing those records again. And so the road project is going to occupy some of that space, some of those 80,000 square feet in the first phase.
Barbados Prime Minister Mia Amar Motley wants opportunities provided that facilitate the freedom of movement across the region. She is the current chair of the CARICOM and stressed on the importance of this, hoping that it can be achieved this year.
We've done it over the years by looking at different sectors. Graduates and agricultural workers and security workers were the last two, I think, that came on. Media practitioners, artists, they were all there before. We have, as governments in the region, determined that we would want to extend this now to all categories of people. And I hope that we can bring this to full fruition. We were to see it happen in 2024, but there was a delay in aspects of its implementation.
Ms. Motley also wants countries to return to completing the CARICOM single market and economy.
Fundamentally, we need to strengthen our economies and we need to put them on a trajectory for inclusive growth. And note that I said inclusive growth, not just growth at the macro level, but growth that permeates down to all of our people. So I hope that the frameworks, particularly for the mutual recognition of companies, why should I be forming a company in Barbados and have to come to Suriname and form it again when all that is perhaps needed is a recognition certificate that says this is a duly formed company, rather than putting the person through the time and expense of so doing. We hope that we will see major progress on the establishment of the regional capital markets. There's a lot of liquidity in the region.
Barbados is at a point in its history where people of faith need to stand up and stand out while living and demonstrating the values that are dear to the family. That's according to Minister of Labour and Member of Parliament for St. Peter, Colin Jordan. He says the country is depending on people who have values, those who value life, people's dignity and others' property, while looking out for each other. He was speaking at the New Testament Church of God's 2025 convention.
Values that would allow us to feel safe, because I'm sure that none of us gathered here this morning feels as though somebody is going to start pelting bottles. There's a different feeling when people of faith get together. The risks feel less. That says something. It is because people of faith, Christians in particular, serve a God that allows us to understand that we have a responsibility. And so we can't just get on any and every way. And so I encourage you to continue to let your light shine, continue to be both light and salt.
Julianne Sargent and Shaquan Griffith are this year's mentor and mentee of the First Chance Mentorship Program. They were both successful out of a pool of 10 who all embarked on a transformative journey last year. Ms. Sargent says she's had to go on a waiting list before she could become a mentee, but she says it's been a rewarding journey as she created her pathway to purpose.
Entered the HR field, I entered without any experience because someone took a chance on me. Someone provided that opportunity, and that's what I always want to do, just help wherever I can, and this program really gave me the opportunity to, help persons to develop in their fields.
Co-founder and head of human resources Tiffany Brooms says the program was launched in 2020 and has impacted over 81 members and 64 mentors, connecting people across St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados and the USA. And she's challenging each to think about taking the legacy of the program forward.
Whether you are a mentor, mentee or a supporter, you have the power to create change, not just within your life, but the lives of those around you. Remember, the pathways to purpose are not always linear, and they often require us to step outside of our comfort zones. But as we have seen over the past 5 years, when we take those bold steps, we not only discover our purpose, but we also help others discover theirs.
Now, in preparation for the February leg of Regathering, a local paint company has given a product to a St. Peter-based church to spruce up. Berger Paints, St. Peter Parish Organizing Committee and members of the Regathering Secretariat were at St. Philip the Less Church for the presentation.
Priest at St. Philip the Less, Reginald Knight, says the church is one with a rich history, with many members having served the country in various spheres.
Over the years, we would have had persons like the Keith Boyce, who was a former cricketer and a stalwart in this church and in this community, and who has made a really great contribution to community service in Boscobel and in St. Peter. We have had persons like Sir Elliot Belgrave, or former Governor General, who lives in the area actually, and who has been a member of this church. We've had persons like the late Valton Bend, who too has been all part of the Boscobel, St. Philip the Less, St. Peter family.
He says the church acts like a thermostat in the community, and it is known for spreading love, and for Regathering, they intend to spread the love. And joining with the church for Regathering is Berger Paints. The company's senior brand and trade officer, Renee Cobham, says they wanted to support the national initiative in some way, and they reached out to government to let them know they had a repainting concept.
It is beautifying Barbados. We have people coming back home, and the first thing that persons like to do is inspect your property, yeah? So we wanted to be there to create long-lasting memories. Yes, we do stand by our name for lasting beauty and protection, and what better way than to do this here now with our repainting campaign during the Regathering initiative. And while this is just the start of the donation process and a start of what is required here at the St. Philip the Less Church, we are going to make our way across the island. First is the church. It's going to be a mural in St. Peter. There's also going to be a mural in St. Philip as well.
Public Relations Officer for the St. Peter Parish Organizing Committee, Shakeem Howell, lays out what they intend to do.
So under the theme Celebrating Our Heritage, Home and Hope,
We're coming here on the 2nd of February to start off with our Regathering Church service. Now, the reason why St. Philip de Les was selected is that this year, in March, on the 23rd, they'll be commemorating 165 years. And it's not just any random selection, but as you know, during the month of February, we do have the celebration of the amalgamation week at Courage and Parif, which is named after Bishop Courage and Parry, who are the first and second bishops of Barbados. And Bishop Thomas Parry consecrated this church all those years ago.
Work has already started on the sprucing up of the St. Philip de Les Church.
That's Wendy Burt reporting there. That ends our news until now. We'll have more news coming up at 12 noon here on CBC TV 8. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game with dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
21 minutes after 7 now. On Friday, we took you inside Interior Avenue. Tisha did indeed, and what a session that was. Everything there was so beautifully laid out. And so we're showing you now the potential that you have resting literally in your mind to be able to create that space and what Interior Avenue can do to help you do so. Joining me is the founder and lead stylist, of course, with Interior Avenue, Miss Monique McKay. Good morning, Monique.
Good morning.
Good to see you. And she's brought along her happy helper, so to speak, in Jocelyn Smith. Asking Jocelyn, morning.
Morning. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Monique, how would you describe the service that you offer?
So the service that we offer is very one-on-one, very unique. Whether it's a small project or a big project, we do believe in being there every step of the way, understanding the goal of the client, and just making their space unique.
So it's very boutique, it's very niche, it's very special, it's very personal.
That's right, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And how does that work for the individual?
So I think it works fantastic for the individual. They do feel sometimes reserved in asking certain questions, and we pull it all out. We say, what do you need to know? What are you trying to achieve here with this look? And so with that one-on-one, I think it relaxes people and it makes them feel like, you know what, there's no question I can't ask. So therefore, their project is usually very successful.
Is it a case where you visit my space and you look and say, okay, I can do this, I can do that, or my furniture pieces, or do you help me buy them as well?
Both.
Okay.
So that's the great thing about it. If you are just looking for a refresh, we can rearrange the things you have. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people travel a lot, they have a lot of collector's items. We help them sort that out. So you don't necessarily have to buy something. However, sometimes you want to add an investment piece to your area. We provide that too.
The minimalists like me.
Yes.
I like open spaces. I like to be able to walk and nothing is going to make me stump. Here's your brother, girl. So how do you do that? Because then it always looks to the other person who comes into that space as if it's a big empty house.
Well, there's ways to actually accomplish that. The space, with our experience, it's about scale. Mm-hmm. It's about your ceiling heights. It's about what, is it an open concept? Right. So we know how to integrate things in one space that actually unite the two spaces together. So it's all about the experience we have.
I never thought of that, Monique. I'm serious.
Yes.
The ceiling height.
It's important.
I just see floor, but it's more than just floor.
It's more than floor. It's the floor, the walls, the ceiling. There's a whole concept to put together.
And the same thing, I suppose, deals with, you look at it from the way my walls are painted, the color in which it's painted. If it's a blank white wall.
Love a white wall. I don't.
You know what I'm talking about, man.
I love a white wall because it allows us to add art into the pieces, art into the space. However, there's a lot of people who love color, and there is so much fun to be had with that too. So
I talked about floor, and some of what you've created for us here as we stand is what we can do from the floor up.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about what we have here.
So what we have here could be integrated into a small space, a big room with a small corner. It could be in a kitchen. It could be your bedroom. This is just about hooking the area with these chairs, creating comfort, creating lifestyle. So if you're a reader, you need a place. If you need a coffee, you got a place to put your coffee. And then of course lighting. Lighting is crucial so that we can make sure we're not straining the eyes or whatever activity or function we're doing here.
But I love the look of the lamp as well, the shape of it.
Yes,
Isn't it beautiful?
It is.
Jocelyn?
So this lamp is actually a marble base, so it's very sturdy. And then you have your gold. It's a linen is on the shade as well. And then when we come from that, we're coming into the 100% teak wood. So this, as Mornin mentioned, it also can go on a patio, but it has to be a covered patio too as well.
That's right.
So you can sit back, relax, and everything. Woven is very sturdy and strong. I want you to have a...
I
want you to sit.
Okay, I shall sit.
Shall sit,
because
and
one
you
of the
can
things
tell
I
the
said
viewers.
to you, Jocelyn, is when I tested the woven, it actually feels soft.
It feels soft, so it's easy on the touch.
So should
Don't
I
worry.
sit?
You can have it sit, and you can
Anybody's going
tell.
to sit with me?
I will sit with you.
Oh, this feels so relaxing and good.
All
That's
right.
why we call it the lazy boy.
I'm doing the rest of the show right here.
That's not a problem.
Talk to me a little bit, because first of all, the lamp shade, because you said it's done from linen, I can now change the color of the lamp shade.
Yeah, you can do white or you can do the yellow light. So some people do like the yellow light because it does add a different color to the space as well. That's right. Or the white light, but most people do the yellow light because it softens it and don't make it too harsh.
This is so comfortable talking to you, though, rather than just over there. So we can sit in we can do small spaces, or we can do it in a cozy area in your bedroom. It could be in your reading room or your entertainment room. And this is fantastic. And it doesn't make you feel as if you're lying on your back.
No.
But you're actually sitting up.
And the cushion gives you the cushion gives you that little support too as well. So you don't really, so it adds that. So you can adjust it if you want, if you don't. And if you're a tall person, you might not need a cushion. But if you have short legs, sometimes the cushions work to push.
Me. So unfair. And the cushion cover, you can change.
Yes. Or you can swap it out too as well.
Really?
Yeah.
This is sweet, Mornin. This is really, really good. And all of this you offer at Interior Avenue.
Correct. We have a boutique showroom that we have all these things on display.
Okay, so we can actually come into the boutique and we can see what's possible.
And touch and feel.
And then we can dream from there, right?
Correct.
Absolutely.
This is sweet. Explain the rug, though.
The rug is actually hand woven, and you can see the mixture of colors that you have. You have your tassels at the end too as well. So it gives you that texture look that is going on with the chairs too as well.
What scares me often with rugs is maintenance.
Well, this is easy. This is a shake and dust. Or you can even do a slight vacuum.
Love it.
That's it.
Shake and dust. You make that sound so easy.
It is easy. Shake and dust and a light vacuum. That's all you need.
So, Mornin, because it's a boutique operation, it's personal, it's one-on-one, how long before I realize my dream and I have my dream space or spaces in my home from beginning to end?
From beginning to end, it does depend on the square footage. If you're talking about a small room, we could do it within a week. If you have a new build or a villa or Airbnb or a hotel, the time is going to be a lot longer. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a lot more.
That's right.
And you're open to receiving calls for consultation and so forth?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is a no-brainer. This is truly a no-brainer. Interior Avenue. Where are you located?
We are in Graham Hall, Christchurch.
Graham Hall, Christchurch.
And we could be reached at
233
6922.
You don't have to call it. I know it happens to me too. When you don't have to call it, you don't know it. But Interior Avenue, you're listed in the book and you're found online, right?
Yeah, correct. We're on Instagram.
And on Instagram as well.
So what we're going to do right now, folks, is we're going to transform this area. You wouldn't believe it when you see it after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning.
You're involved in an accident, and the other driver leaves the scene before the insurance representatives arrive.
If you can, use a cell phone or camera to record the scene. A driver who leaves the scene has 24 hours to report the accident to the police and their insurance company. Failure to do so may lead to prosecution.
What if the other driver doesn't have insurance?
If it is confirmed that the person does not have insurance, the necessary court action may follow. Report the accident to the police within 24 hours.
A message from the Barbados Police Service and the Barbados Government Information Service.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And we're showing you here on Morning Barbados as well what's possible with Interior Avenue. Remember, they are located at Graham Hall in Christchurch. They're just a phone call away, a visit away, and they'll be happy to come to show you what you can do with what you have and what's available that you might need to have enhance your spaces as well. So the transformation is now complete. Ta-da! Look at this, look at this. So what have we done here? We've lightened the whole space to begin with.
Yes, we have. So we've taken away the multicolored carpet. We've introduced something softer, a round rug, anchored the space the same way, and
add some color.
Pop of color.
A puff of color. Y'all just use these creative terms. And it's the color that really helps to draw your eyes as well and balances out the space, because you don't want everything to be monochrome.
Correct.
Yeah. Because, and that of which I'm guilty as well. So I'm learning a lot as well when it comes to interior decor, what's possible with Interior Avenue. But that's what you're able to do with all of your clients, to open up their imagination.
That's correct. We've had so much experience in so many different size, shape, spaces that we try to introduce that and bring that to the client. Whether it's asking them to push the envelope, try something new, try something that may excite you every day when you go into your office or you're at your place of business or at home. And so we do try to open people up to new experiences.
You love this, don't you, Jocelyn?
Yes, I do.
I could see as you were moving around as well, Jocelyn actually loves it. And that's what makes it very personal for the client as well, because you love it, you get it.
The energy feeds off of us to the client as well.
Yeah. So it's a phone call away. Remind us the number?
233-6922.
She's got it now. 233-6922. 22 at the end. 233-6922.
We got it.
Interior Avenue at Graham Hall. And this is just one example of the many things.
Just one.
And when you stop to think of it, how pretty it is, you only use a few things.
Correct.
You didn't have to buy a whole big anything to get it all done.
That's right.
And you created the impact that made your friends go, wow.
This is what a room refresh can do.
She said it best. What a room refresh can do. So, I have to take off my shoes?
No.
I don't want to dirt up your carpet, but I shall do so.
All right.
Sit with me. And it's quite plush. And these are items that I can get from Interior Avenue as well?
Yes, they are.
Oh, nice.
So,
not just are you designing for me and decorating for me, you're also selling.
Correct.
Okay. So, what do you have in store? Talk to me about the catalog.
We have a lot in store. We have from a lot of floor lamps. We have the same accent chairs that you're seeing here. We have sofas. We have mirrors. We have outdoor furniture too as well. What else am I missing?
We have consoles. We have bed frames.
So we have a lot.
Yeah, but what I love about what you have is that it's different from what we normally see.
That's what we're trying to
do. Seriously. So rather than trying to look like everybody else, you can look like you.
You hit the nail on the head. We personally have traveled and sourced these pieces to bring them back to Barbados. We have shipped them back so that our clients, people who come to Interior Avenue, can truly have a unique experience.
It's a no-brainer. What are y'all waiting for? 233-6922.
You got it. You got it.
So that means you'll be giving us a call.
And interior designs at Grave Hall in Christchurch.
You got it.
So if I came to you and I saw the pieces in terms of, I'm just looking at value for money here now, in terms of transportation, you provide that service as well?
Yes,
Yes, please.
See what I tell you? There's no doubt where you ought to be today, tomorrow, when we leave here, right away at Interior Avenue to find those pieces that you're looking for, to consider the space in your house that you would love to personalize or to just make different.
That's right.
And to find those pieces that are so different from what anyone else has, that it is yours. It's your statement. Let them help you make that statement today. Interior Avenue, 233-6922, the number to call. Monique, Jocelyn, you're coming back on Wednesday, right?
Yes, we are.
Please.
And what are you doing for us on Wednesday? Because I want the folks to get ready to... What's a surprise?
Well, I'm not going to tell you
really.
exactly what it is, but there's some very unique accessories we're going to bring to the set for you.
All right.
All right.
I'm
Sure,
already
you're going to be
excited.
taking one with you too as well.
I'm already excited about this. Thank you,
All right.
ladies. All the best. And
Thank
thank
you
you so much
so
for choosing us to be able to help you tell the story of Interior Avenue.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram.
Morning, morning. Good morning.
21 minutes now to the hour of 8 o'clock. We're gathering here. We come now home. Joaquin come now home because he's right here with us. He's been on the set many times, but he hosted a show. Did you know that, Stacey, here in this studio? All right. So it's John King. He heads the Regathering Secretariat. And with him is Stacey O'Brien, who is with the National Cultural Foundation, Festival and Event Planner. Tomorrow is a big event. Tomorrow is probably going to be the biggest event of the year, I dare say. yeah. Forgive me for being biased.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. Arabaro Day, and it's going to be fantastic. You have the family, food, and fun at Archers Bay as part of the regathering put on by the lovely parish of St. Lucy.
Said it so well, John.
Yes. I've been up there now for the last week, probably month or so, and it's hard to not go back. I was up there up to yesterday, just making sure, looking to see what's going on. And I really want to take the opportunity, if you would allow me, Pearson, to thank some people who have really gone beyond the call of duty to get Archers Bay into what it is today. First of all, that would be the National Cultural Foundation. They've done a fantastic job in getting the stage and all the other things sorted out. It was one thing to go on a site visit and to hear people talk about something, but then to actually see it unfold, that's something else. MTW, fantastic job in terms of putting in some roads and different things for that. BWA, water stations and different things like that. But you also have a private company, Mr. Junior Grant. When we went to Archers Bay, all the time people would use the word bush. It was bush, thorns, everything you could think about. And we were like, how are we going to get this sorted out? And Mr. Grant came and he looked at it and he said, I'm going to finish this in possibly about a week. Don't worry. He said a week, and in 4 days it was done. And that just showed me that when people rally, how they can get things done. And what was most important for me is that a lot of his workers were just a bunch of young people. And people, in today's world, people are always complaining about, young people is this and it happens for every generation. But I want to salute them because they worked around the clock without any complaints with anything and got the job done. So kudos to all of those persons. I really want to do that.
So if you've been to Archers Bay before, you're going to see a re-energized, a totally different Archers Bay tomorrow. But Stacey, are we ready?
We are ready.
How ready are we?
We are ready. The performers have been rehearsing. The venue looks amazing. Picnic baskets getting packed. The vendors got the drinks icing. St. Lucy is on point and we're ready to go. Tomorrow, action starts from 10 in the morning. Buses leaving Spicestown, they're leaving Oistins, they're leaving Bridgetown from as early as 10 in the morning. So pack up the picnic basket and come up Archers Bay.
So draw me in your mind, from your mind, what the area looks like and where the stage is going to be and where people will lounge and enjoy.
We've created so much different areas at Archers Bay. We have a children's zone for the children to come and they have their swings and their slides and so on, and a film area just for them to watch all of their local films. We have an amazing vantage point coming off of the cliff. You can see the backdrop of the sea, of the ocean. When you look at that stage, Jamal did it so lovely that we can go, we can see straight through the stage, straight through over the cliff, and you have that backdrop of the ocean behind you. And there's a natural amphitheater at Archers Bay. So wherever you get your little positioning with your friends and your family, you're going to have all of the attractions all around you. The food vendors are ready. There's a food court area we've prepared. It's going to be an amazing day. And they cook off. We cooking. With the BTMI, we cooking that BTMI, we cooking zone. So there's so much happening at Archers Bay tomorrow.
I mean, this is what you do, the NCF. You are able to take what looks to us like nothing and create something absolutely beautiful out of it. Sound in place, everything's in place, and we're all ready.
We're ready.
Now, John, Stacey just spoke about buses and buses leaving where to get to where from 10 o'clock in the morning. Give folks who are watching right now some sense of whether it's one you pay or is it free? And where they're coming from and where to go.
Let me tell you, this is the most expensive event you will ever go to. The charge is 0, 0, 0, 0. So if you don't have that, don't worry, still come, because nobody's going to stop you. It is as free as they get. But the whole idea is to gather our communities together, to gather our families together. The same way that we were able to gather all these different entities to transform one space, we gathering on the whole is about gathering all of us to transform Barbados. And I dare say that Arches Bay is going to be part of the legacy of regathering. Because that space would have been left, dormant for a number of years. But I believe strongly that after this transformation, it is going to be used on a regular basis from here onwards. And I really, again, you have to salute all of those persons who made it happen.
And I know the Parish Independence Committee has been working along with the Parish Organizing Committee to get all of this done. And that is so exciting for me. I mean, not just as a St. Lucie boy myself, but the possibilities that lie in our hands thereafter. So to see a new space at Arches Bay, I think is going to be phenomenal for picnics, for other outdoor activations and the like.
Yeah,
you're sure right.
The space has, it really has its own unique quintessential feeling towards it. You come down there. I had an amazing time just finding Arches Bay in the first place. Easy. I get to St. Lucie Parish Church and they tell me keep going straight.
Just keep straight.
Keep
don't
going
turn.
Straight. Don't turn.
Just stop. You have to stop.
No.
Straight.
So it was for me never going there before we went to the site visits, and like John said, we were there. We looked around. We saw so much bush, and we were like, okay, how are we going to get this to happen? But when we continued and we decided, look, this is going to happen, and we were gathering, and this is all about the community in St. Lucie, we could see this gem just appear in like 6 days, and we said, this is amazing, and we were all of Barbados to come and experience it. It's that space, when you really want that moment to drive, take some time, take the family, that Sunday drive that we like after the Sunday food. And the paper down read.
People in this building know me so well, right? If I feel irritated in the car, I'm
telling you, Pearson, this might sound a little crazy to you, right? But I remember in the 90s, I used to be a member of a group called Signature.
Yes.
Band. We used to play the ship in. And sometimes, after we finished playing, I would head to Cove Bay. Right. Now, actually, I would head to Cove Bay.
Right.
Sit down and relax in the car, just let all the adrenaline come down. The sun comes up, and then head to St. Philip. And this was a norm for me almost every Saturday night. That was my way of relaxing. And it's important now for Barbadians who have never trekked across the island to learn new spaces. This gives you the opportunity to do that. But I want to touch on a couple of things that have happened already in St. Lucie, which if you miss them, you can only blame yourself. On Saturday, there was a fabulous T20 cricket match at the Lord's ground. And you should see the families out. You see grands, the great-grands, the grandfathers, grandmothers, mommy and daddy. It was just a beautiful sight. Everybody out there enjoying the cricket, cheering on the relatives and other things. So that was fabulous. The limes that they were having at all of the shops, the pickle Saturdays. Well, let me tell you something. The people, I know for sure, I saw a big crowd from St. George. I never know St. George people eat so much pickle because they're empty. So I kind of like, okay.
It's that good.
Yeah, it's that good. My God, see when we get to St. George, we're going to have a note. If we coming in.
St. George is a land. St. George is a land. Don't worry.
Yeah, we have to eat all the pickle. We can leave nothing for us, right? But anyhow, that was good. But Mount Gay, the distillery, had the tour.
Yes.
That tour was so well supported. They had over 400 people did the tour. And I really want to thank those Barbadians who got out and had the opportunity to do it, because that is a tour that a lot of visitors come to the island and they partake in it. But when you see Barbadians get the chance to understand it, they understand the quality of the rum that is made in Barbados, they understand the history of it, and they understand, again, how important it is from a heritage standpoint that we begin to look at rum in a different way. Because oftentimes you will hear people say, I don't drink rum, I drink whiskey, or I drink all these other things from foreign countries, and they put them on a level as if, you know, I'm a connoisseur of that. But if you say to them, a rum shop, you get things.
Yes.
So it's a change in narrative all during the gathering.
All right. We got to leave it there. But tomorrow, don't forget, from 10 o'clock in the morning, start gathering early o'clock, whether it's at the bus terminal or at Archers Bay itself. We're there for the whole day. Sun will set and we'll still be down there. Don't worry about it. You will be well taken care of at Archers Bay tomorrow for family day and picnic. It will be live. There will be live action on the big stage and a whole lot more. You can see on your screen all of the artists who will be participating. Remember the park and ride. You park wherever you can and then get on the bus. Get on the bus and you'll be bussed in, as John said, for a huge price of $0.
That's right.
$0. It is going to be fantastic. So buses will be leaving which terminals quickly, John?
Oystins, Bridgetown, and Spitestown.
Right.
And they all leave at 10 in the morning.
Excellent.
And they run hourly.
And they will run hourly. So be on the bus. Come on home to my place, St. Lucie, indeed. And I want to thank you, Stacey, as well. And well done to the National Cultural Foundation, all of the workers that you said, Jamal Cobham,
yes.
who's been working really hard creating a lot of things there. But to you and your team, kudos indeed. And to you too, John, Senator John King, you and your team as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to be getting ready soon for Talking Up St. Peter in just a little while, but let's enjoy St. Lucie for just a moment, shall we? We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 7 minutes until 8 o'clock as we turn our attention now to celebrating with the Christian Mission Church. They are actually marking 135 years of ministry in Barbados. I know you ask yourself, really? I did too, 135. Well, joining us to talk a little bit about those celebrations is Pastor Paul Seeley. He is the director and chairman of that anniversary committee.
Yes.
And Joyanne Waite, she's a member of the committee as well. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
That's a history, Pastor Paul. 135.
Yes, please. Good morning, Pearson.
Morning.
Yes, 135 years in Barbados. Not only in Barbados, but in Guyana, in Trinidad, in Panama, and United States. We have different branches. And this year we're celebrating under the theme, Empowered by Faith, Impacting Lives.
Nice. Why that thing? What does that thing mean?
For us, when we talk about empowered by faith, and we're talking about being empowered by God, impacting lives, we're talking about impacting our community. How do we help our community? How do we help to improve our young people? How do we help to improve our elderly? How do we help to improve our working class? You know, so we're about impacting lives all across Barbados.
And all over those 135 years, no doubt the church would have been challenged in many different ways, whether it's the increase or the decrease in membership, challenged by the societal changes as well, and being able to connect with your congregation in a way that it changes their lives in a positive way. How have you weathered the storm?
Well, it has been a challenge and it has been a roller coaster. But with the wisdom of God, we've been able to make it through. We have had our ups, we have had our downs. It really was a challenge, but we were able to make it thus far, because you have the change in the age gap, you have the change in the situation in our economy, the change in belief systems, all these things throughout the year. So it has been a challenge, but we've been able to weather the storm.
Doing it so well, you've attracted some young people like Joyanne. And this is where you come in, Joyanne. Talk to me about not just your role on the committee, but the ways that you see the opportunities for the Christian Mission Church in Barbados to continue to grow.
I think there are many opportunities for our church to grow. I believe that, you know, in this time, in this season, with everything that's going on in our society and in our community, I believe the church has a pivotal role to play in terms of impacting our youth and, of course, as Paul would have mentioned, our elderly, but also showing them their value from having that sort of solid Christian foundation, that solid spiritual foundation, to know your value as a person and your purpose and where God would want you to go. And even in celebrating these 135 years, as Pastor Paul would have mentioned, in terms of the theme, you know, is really rooted in, you know, that solidity of what would have gone before and being able to push us forward into the future.
So marking this anniversary means that you've got to put on some big events.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Let me hear you now. What are you planning to do?
Yes, please. We're planning to have an Easter production just around the 12th of April, and this will be involving all of the circuits. We're also planning to adopt one of the primary school in our area, because our church is located the corner of Tudor Street and Baxter's Road. So we're near St. Mary's and we're also near Wesley Hall.
Right.
So we're planning to forge some connections with them. And we're also planning a back to school drive.
Nice.
And we want to be able to give out no less than 135 back to school packages. So we're asking corporate Barbados to partner with us as we help these children get back into school. And then, you know, we have a We Care, Give Back to Our Elderly. They were the founding fathers of the Christian Mission, and we want to appreciate them for what they would have done. And obviously, bringing everything all together, we're going to combine it with an exciting luncheon. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more. Joyanne, getting the youth involved and connecting the age difference as well. And how do you see the young people actively at work now in the Christian Mission?
I think now within the Christian Mission, I would say normally sometimes even when people hear the name still, some people say, oh, they're old, you know, like older people.
Yeah.
But now there are more younger people who are involved, and I would say our youth now, they're very interested in the work of the Christian Mission. They're very fascinated by the legacy that was created, and they want to do stuff and be a part of it. So now when you come to, you know, a lot of our churches, you will see more young people involved. They might be operating the sound system, involved in worship, involved in the arts. And of course, when there's the opportunity to give back, although some of them might start off a bit shy, when you start walking through communities and interacting with other young people, you see them open up and, you know, and be amazed at what God can do through them.
The church at work in its community. I love that. I love that action indeed. No, it's very serious. I think it is very serious. To be real, Jesus was real. He walked among us all.
Yes,
he even roamed the cursed birds just to make sure that the message was solidified.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're doing. 135 years is not a yesterday. It's 135 years. And so the Christian Mission Church in Barbados continues to celebrate. They continue to make a serious impact in the lives of Barbadians, in the communities they serve, and wider as well. And so I commend you. I wish you well with your
Thank you.
activities. The first is coming up around the Easter weekend.
Well, actually, we are starting with our launch actually next week, Sunday at 10 a.m. at our gospel. I know.
Tell me,
You're welcome to
Go
come
ahead.
at our Gospel Tabernacle on Tudor Street, which is our central location for meeting. So it's starting at 10 a.m. We're inviting persons to come out. If you were a part of the Christian Mission Church, this is your opportunity to come back in and come to see what has been happening and come and be a part of these celebrations.
All right. Thank you, Alison. Thank you,
Joya.
Pastor Paul.
Thank you.
Wish you the very best with your celebrations as well. And may God continue to enrich your offerings to the people who you serve. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and staying with us as well. My little crew says thanks to all of you. And if it be God's will, we'll see you again on Wednesday. There's no show tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.